I recently read The First Rule of Mastery by Michael Gervais. Long ago, our survival as a species relied on anticipating threats. The greatest threat was being ostracized by our tribe, because without a tribe, we wouldn't be able to gather food when sick or injured and wouldn't survive long. So, we learned to anticipate and fear what others thought of us. This is known as FOPO, fear of other people's opinions. FOPO takes many forms today. We hesitate to speak our minds in meetings, we abandon our values under social pressure, and we avoid fully committing to our passions to avoid seeming obsessive. Just consider how much of your work week you spend worrying about other people's opinions of you. When your head is filled with thoughts of other people judging you, it's hard to be decisive. And when you're worried about what people will think, it becomes challenging to focus deeply and master your craft. That's why it's important to remember the words of David Foster Wallace. You will become way less concerned with what other people think of you when you realize how seldom they do. This isn't just a trite saying, it's backed up by empirical research. In the late 90s, Cornell professor Thomas Gilovich devised a social experiment in which 109 college students entered a room full of their peers, individually and alone, wearing an embarrassing t-shirt with a giant photo of pop singer Barry Manilow. The students wearing the shirt were sure that at least 50% of their peers would notice the shirt. However, when Gilovich quizzed the people in the room afterward, only 25% noticed the embarrassing shirt. Several studies since have shown that you and I have a distorted sense of significance and tend to project our thoughts onto others, causing us to believe that the outside world is judging us much more than it is. This phenomenon is called the spotlight effect. All day, it's as if people are walking around with a floodlight hovering above, shining a spotlight down on their head. If you're not in someone's spotlight, they're not thinking about you. And even when people flash their spotlight on you, you occupy their thoughts for so little time because they quickly bring the light back to themselves and resume thinking about what everyone else is thinking of them. So as a rule, never assume people are thinking about you unless they voice their opinions of you. When someone verbalizes their opinion of you, make sure you put it through a filter before taking it to heart. Nate Hobgood became a football star and won the Super Bowl with the Rams in 2000, largely because of his ability to filter people's opinions. Growing up, he had to put up with coaches who insisted he was too slow to make it to the next level and constantly yelled at him for making small mistakes in practice, like taking a full step when he should have taken a half step. Nate was letting the opinions of his coaches affect his play, so he came up with a clever tool to, quote, separate the vitriol from the valuable insights. Instead of blocking out his coaches, he imagined a screen between him and his coaches, and the only things that would get through the screen were things that would help him get better. Any contempt or personal attack would just hit the screen and fall to the ground. When someone subjects you to their opinion, take a deep breath and imagine a screen going up between you and that person so you can filter out what's helpful and what's not. Now, there are 3 effective screens you can put up between yourself and the opinions of others. Screen number 1, your purpose. Every moment, you have a reason for living. It might be getting better at the thing you love doing, or simply living true to your values and inspiring others to do the same. When you're on a mission to live a life of purpose, you'll find that you're less concerned with other people's approval. Seeking approval is like seeking short-term profits in business. Every business wants short-term profit, but if it becomes their guiding principle, they quickly lose their way and become irrelevant. A business thrives and survives when it stands for something more than just profit, even if that angers people both in and outside the business. Likewise, you must stand for something more than just the approval of people around you. When you hear someone telling you what you should do, put their opinion through your purpose screen and just let in comments that will help you live with more purpose, and let everything else hit the screen and fall to the ground. Screen number 2, your roundtable. There are just a few people's opinions who truly matter. A comment from someone from your high school class on Facebook, or a honk from an angry driver you'll never see again, simply don't matter. The opinions that do matter come from the people who want what's best for you, who you deeply respect, and who are not afraid to tell you the truth. Think of 3 to 5 people that fit this criteria, and then imagine them sitting at your round table. Your round table might include your partner, your best friend, your coach, and your mentor. Now, the next time someone offers you their opinion, imagine a screen coming up between you and that person with a faint image of your round table on the screen. Then ask yourself, is this comment coming from the few people at my round table? And if not, what would my round table think? If an attack on social media isn't coming from someone at your round table, and you know your round table would think it's nonsense, let that attack hit your screen and fall to the ground. Screen number 3, your death. The death screen is simple. When you start letting people's opinions hold you back from living a life true to your values, ask one question. Given that I'm going to die soon might be a year or 70 years, is it worth letting people's opinions dictate my life? Remembering that you're going to die is the easiest way to distinguish between comments that matter and those that don't. A comment from your child is worth acting on because it might be the last thing you think of before you die. But a comment from a coworker after a random meeting 20 years ago certainly won't be something you consider in your last moments on Earth. Gervais says, when the party is almost over and everyone and their opinions has gone home, you'll question why you gave them so much power in your life. In the end, stop living in fear of what other people are thinking of you. People are too preoccupied with their own lives and considering what people are thinking of them to notice almost anything you do. But even when people do take notice of what you're doing and you hear unflattering opinions, you needn't let those opinions hold you back. If you're living with purpose, listening to honest feedback from the few people you respect most, and acknowledging your eventual death. Gervais says, the sooner you fundamentally change your relationship with other people's opinions, the sooner you become free. Totally free to be at home with yourself, wherever you are, and discover who you are truly capable of becoming. That was the core message that I gathered from The First Rule of Mastery by Michael Gervais. Gervais is a performance coach that I followed for some time, and his book didn't disappoint. I highly recommend it. If you would like a one-page PDF summary of insights that I gathered from this book, just click the link below, and I'd be happy to email it to you. If you already subscribe to the free Productivity Game email newsletter, this PDF is sitting in your inbox. If you like this video, please share it. And as always, thanks for watching, and have yourself a productive week.